The confirmation we've been waiting for is finally here. Osprey has officially announced that the first XRP spot ETF will launch this week, with trading beginning on September 18th in the United States. This is not speculation anymore. This is the official communication, and it marks one of the most important moments in XRP's history. No more delays, no more uncertainty. The first US XRP spot ETF is happening. Let's first take a quick look at the market. XRP is holding steady around $3 even, which is remarkable considering the broader crypto landscape is dealing with liquidations. Bitcoin is sitting near $114,000, Ethereum around $4,500, and other major altcoins like Cardano, Solana, Chainlink, Stellar, and Hedera are all down between 3% and 4%. This is part of the typical volatility we see leading into major events. And make no mistake, we are heading into a pivotal 48 hours. Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve are set to announce their decision on interest rates. And then just one day later, the XRP spot ETF begins trading. The timing is critical. A potential rate cut could inject liquidity into markets right as the ETF launches, creating a perfect storm for inflows. Osprey made it clear. This will be the first US ETF to give investors direct exposure to XRP at the spot level. This is not a futures product. It's direct access to XRP, the third largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. Once this ETF is live, others will follow. Regulators cannot approve one XRP ETF and then indefinitely stall the others. The floodgates are about to open. For holders, this means one thing. Demand is about to increase sharply. ETFs bring in new categories of investors, especially institutions that need regulated vehicles. As more capital flows in, XRP's circulating supply on exchanges will shrink. This is what analysts call a supply shock, a scenario where demand surges while available liquidity dries up, forcing price discovery higher. For years, XRP supporters have speculated about this moment, and now it is becoming reality. At the same time, PayPal has announced new integrations for Bitcoin and Ethereum in its peer-to-peer payment system. On the surface, it looks like XRP is missing. But Ripple's own documentation tells another story. PayPal is already included in Ripple's Interledger framework, alongside Bank of America, Visa, and even the Federal Reserve. Internal diagrams from Ripple's official materials show PayPal connected to RippleNet and XRP ledger infrastructure. What this suggests is that XRP's integration is already planned. It's simply not being highlighted publicly yet. Institutions often move this way, quietly building partnerships before making major announcements. Think about the implications. PayPal has hundreds of millions of users. If XRP is integrated into that payment infrastructure, alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum, it could instantly become one of the most widely used digital assets in retail and institutional transactions. For now, the headlines focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the underlying architecture points to a bigger role for XRP. Meanwhile, in the traditional markets, gold has just broken a new all-time high at $3,680 per ounce. This is a strong signal of global financial uncertainty. Investors are moving towards safe havens, and at the same time, blockchain adoption is accelerating. Gold rising while XRP launches its first ETF creates a fascinating parallel. One is the oldest store of value, and the other represents the new digital infrastructure of value transfer. Both are benefiting from the same macroeconomic conditions. So how should holders view this moment? The ETF confirmation represents a structural shift. For years, XRP has been at the center of debates about utility, regulation, and adoption. With this ETF, XRP crosses into a new category. It is no longer just a cryptocurrency traded on exchanges. It is now part of regulated financial products that institutional investors can access directly. That means pension funds, asset managers, and even sovereign wealth funds could allocate to XRP without touching traditional crypto exchanges. The narrative is changing, and it is changing fast. First comes Osprey's ETF, then the others that have filed. The arrival of multiple ETFs will create competition, drive liquidity, and enhance legitimacy. Combined with Ripple's partnerships with financial institutions, the interledger integration of companies like PayPal, and ongoing discussions about tokenization in global finance, the stage is set for XRP to move into a league of its own. It's important to remember that short-term volatility will still exist. The market is currently dealing with liquidations and cautious sentiment ahead of the Fed's decision. But beyond these near-term fluctuations, the ETF launch is a structural event that fundamentally changes the outlook for XRP. Price shocks may come in both directions, but the bigger trend is unmistakable. Institutional adoption is here. To put it simply, this week marks the beginning of the XRP ETF era. The first step has been taken, and once the ETF goes live on September 18th, the path forward will not be the same. This is more than just another news headline. It's a transformation of XRP's role in global markets. From being seen as a speculative altcoin to being recognized as a regulated investment vehicle, the leap is historic. And while the market digests this, gold continues to soar. The Federal Reserve prepares to adjust monetary policy, and Ripple's integration with companies like PayPal quietly moves forward. All of these forces together create a unique convergence of events that put XRP at the center of financial change. For holders, this is a moment to remember. XRP is stepping into the spotlight at the highest level of global finance. The confirmation is official, the date is set, and the launch is days away. The wait is over. The first XRP spot ETF is here.